Good morning, everybody. My name is Rick Canaro with Texans here in Dallas. I'm here with Joe Hogan, formerly of Unisys. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing lately.
Well, currently I'm a partner with Allsbridge Group here in Dallas. We're a local firm focused on being advisors or third-party consultants to clients that are interested in benchmarking, offshoring, as well as outsourcing or doing shared services environments. Extremely great time for us in the market right now, because obviously with all the challenges in the economy around the world, people are having to look at how they do work differently. And when you begin to look at how you do work differently, you start evaluating your sourcing options with regard to offshoring and with regard to outsourcing, with regard to shared services, as well as benchmarking against the market. So it's a really great time, and it's a good time to be in the market.
Joe, where do you see the biggest opportunity for a company that's interested globally?
Well, a company that's interested in globally, I think, one, if you're a company that's not interested globally and you're a fairly medium-sized to large-sized company, I think it's something you ought to consider. A couple of reasons. One, I think you start out with the fact that you can leverage knowledge in the global community around the world. Most of the providers today have centers that are either in Latin America, that are in Asia, that are in Europe, as well as the teams that they have here in this country. And start thinking about where you could leverage the brain power of people around the world against your software problems, against your business process problems, against your technology problems. So I think that's one. I think for number two, the opportunity would be to restructure how the work is done, and obviously to get the same value or more value for a lower cost.
So not only, even if you're not interested in deploying globally yourself, then it should be something that the company should be aware of and take advantage of that information, becoming aware of what is happening on a global basis. And to that end, what areas of focus would companies want to pay attention to most as far as geographically? Is there a geographic aspect to it, or is it more just a core business aspect you want to look at?
Well, you have some leading geographies. I mean, we all have read the books about the miracle in India. And if you're a business executive today, or even if you're a growing business executive today, I always encourage them to go visit India, to go also visit China. And you get an idea of the capability, the sheer capability, not just in the numbers, but the capability in terms of the technology, the support, and what they're doing from an education perspective, both in this country and in their own country. It's extremely challenging, and it's something that we as executives, as we grow, need to learn how to leverage and how to effectively use. So I would say the strongest geographies right now would be in Asia, would be in India, would be in China. Secondary markets would be in Latin America, say in Brazil. And then if you're in Europe, obviously the strength there is language support and language capability, which you can get quite a bit out of in the Eastern European or the old Eastern Bloc, whether you're in Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, even Poland. And we're also beginning to see centers spring up now in some of the old Soviet bloc, in Russia itself, Lithuania, Estonia, and those areas. But the strongest market still would be in Asia. The leader obviously still is India. But I think like anybody else, they're in a competitive market. And so they're going to have to get stronger, and they're going to have to stay and do things to remain competitive. So it'll be an interesting time. I think it's a really exciting time to be part of this industry. Really exciting time.
And it's great to have you here with us today, to be a part of our panel and be a part of the whole program today. We thank you so much for coming today.